In today's video, I'm going head-to-head in a PC build-off, competing against a noob to see if my experience has what it takes to be judged by professionals and be rated best on looks, performance, and creativity. Now, I've built a total of 6 PCs from start to finish, and I've also built plenty of setups, so I know what looks good when it comes to parts and performance. Not to mention, I'm going up against Chandler, who's only built 1 PC and has very little knowledge, so I'm confident. Now, the rules for this PC build-off are simple. We both have a total of 4 hours to pick out our parts, assemble our PCs, and have them ready to display before the judges when the timer is up. The catch is, since I'm considered the pro in this PC build-off, I can't ask for any help from any of the Meta PC's professional PC builders, which means I'm on my own and have to rely solely on the knowledge from my previous builds. So comment down below right now if you think I'm gonna win this battle or if Chandler's gonna win, and make sure you stay till the end of the video to see who actually won the build-off. And without wasting any more time, let the build-off begin.
And your time starts now.
First, I need to find myself a case, and there's a ton over here that I can pick and choose from. What am I feeling? We have Lee and Lee. We have height. Ooh! I've always wanted, yep, this is what we're going with. This bad boy right here. The height Y40. So let's go bring this over, and now we gotta go pick out all the rest of the parts. So now that we have the case picked out, we gotta pick out a theme. And after looking around the entire warehouse to get a good idea of how I want this PC build to go, I decided on going for an all white build. And if you've seen any of the PCs that I've built in the past, you know I love all white peripherals. I think it stands out so well in setups, and this case provides a great foundation for that. Next, we gotta find ourselves a GPU. And I already see a ton up here, but the problem is, they're all black 4090s, and even though it's a 4090, I gotta keep everything consistent with the all white theme. And right here, I already found myself a white 4070 Ti Supra. This is one of the best GPUs that you can get on the market, and it's actually a Supra, which means it just came out. It's got 3 fans, it's all white, and it's got some really cool RGB, so this seems like it'll be a perfect fit for the case. And now that we have the graphics card case, it's time to find ourselves a motherboard. So this is the ASRock X670E motherboard. This thing is an absolute beast. So next on the list is our AIO. This one is perfect because it's all white, it's got 3 RGB fans and an RGB cooler. Next, arguably the most important part is the CPU. So this is the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, and you've seen me use this CPU in a ton of my previous builds. So I'm super confident because I already know how this works. So with the rest of the parts picked out, we first have a 2 terabyte NVMe. This will be able to hold tons of games, open everything super fast, so this is perfect. Next, we have 32 gigabytes of DDR5 Fury RAM. We also have 3 boxes, 1, 2, and 3 of white fans to complement the case. Arguably the boring part, the power supply. Although it is an all-white PC, my favorite color is blue, so I decided to pick out some light blue cable extensions to kind of add an accent color to the PC to really make it pop. And now that we have all the parts picked out, let's get building. And to be honest, one of my biggest fears is making sure all the parts are compatible with each other. So I double checked and tried to work with parts that I had worked with in the past, but at the same time, I also wanted to challenge myself with new parts to kind of expand my knowledge of building PCs. Because let's be honest, the only pressure I have is myself. Chandler over here, not an issue.
This is just me being me. I don't know how to open this box.
Quick update for you guys. We just put the CPU in. We're about to put the M.2 in. And this guy over here is still now just unboxing his motherboard. If you're watching this video right now, go to the comment section and comment down below who do you think we won, because let's be honest, I think the winner is pretty clear, and you're looking right at it. And so far, we were looking good until I ran into an issue with the M.2. Now, I started off strong, completing the motherboard within just under 25-ish minutes. I put it in the wrong spot, which meant I had to go back and find the actual slot for it. And since I knew that the professionals at the end would be super analytical by the way they were judging, I had to make sure I did everything as close to perfect as I possibly could. So the motherboard is officially finished. We got the CPU in, we got both the RAM sticks, and we just finished putting in the M.2. Now it's time to unbox the Height Y40. I've never built in this case, so I'm super excited to put everything together. And for somebody who's never seen the Height Y40 in my life, I was really confident and things went really smoothly when it came to putting the motherboard in the case. And from there, it was plug and play, screwing it down to the case and making sure everything lined up. No, you're not gonna beat me, bro. You really do need all the help you can get.
I mean, this is good. Like, it's seated, so just lay back down, and then just make sure that this
Closes on top.
on
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me how I'm doing.
Oh, you got a case, he doesn't.
That's right, you heard that.
CPU, memory, I know you got that M.2 under the heatsink, which is good. Riser cable's installed well, I think you're doing great.
You hear that, Chandler? Where's your case? So far, we haven't run into any major mistakes, so fingers crossed, and let's keep going. And the plan for this is to mount it up on the top portion as well and swap out for the existing fans that the AIO comes with. So I just got done installing all of the external fans into the AIO. Before I do put this on the top of the case, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in all of the power supply cable extensions to the motherboard so they can just be hanging on the back, making my workflow much easier when I go to put the power supply in. I was cooking. I figured out how to daisy chain all the fans together, so swapped them out on my AIO, and before the hour point, I had already installed my AIO. And considering Chandler hadn't even put his motherboard into his case, I was making really good time. But while we're waiting, let's go see how Chandler's doing. Chandler, I've noticed that the motherboard is still on the table right now.
Yeah. What about it?
Why isn't it in the case?
I'll keep it real. I don't know how to open this.
Do you actually not?
Oh.
Holy. Yeah, we're winning this. We got this in the bag, no question. We're gonna mess with him. What do I wanna take? Taking a screwdriver, taking a box of fans. Yep, good luck. So far, we're making amazing progress, and honestly, I'm pretty confident to say that this might be one of my favorite PCs I think I've ever built. Normally, I have pretty bad luck when it comes to something going wrong, but so far, this has been a really smooth process. And it's also super cool that I don't have to like wait for Amazon to like ship my PC parts. I can literally just go pick what I wanted, bring it here, and build it. So this is an absolute luxury. So far, time-wise, I'm doing really well. I guess it really does pay off to have a lot of building experience. This guy Chandler, man, took my whole box of fans. Freaking see it. Bro, he didn't take one box of fans, he took 2 of my fans. I'm over here trying to put my fans in. So now that we got our fans back because Chandler took them, the plan is to put 2 fans here, maybe 2 fans down here, and then at least 1 fan here. We just encountered our first problem. So I originally was gonna put this fan right here, but if you can't already tell by now, this AIO takes up so much space, which means if you try to put it right here, it literally hits the fans on the radiator. So I just decided that I guess I won't be able to do that at all, which leads me to now want to experiment with these bottom fans. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that next. I did run into one issue, and my confidence really went down when it came to the power supply. Normally I'm super confident, but sometimes I get tripped up on the simplest things like the CPU cables, PCIe cables, and much more. So it wasn't a lack of knowledge, it's just I really wanted to make sure I took my time so I didn't have to go back and redo things. I just finished unboxing and putting together the power supply. So once I'm done with that, then we just put the graphics card in and we're pretty much all finished up. So I'm finishing up here. Oh shoot. Yo, how much time do we have? Did my best possible job that I could with the fans. Fingers crossed everything boots. With that being said though, time's running out, so let's get back to work. Now that the PC is essentially finished, we're just missing one important part. Smaller than I thought, but this thing is clean. Bro, you can't touch that?
Can I see it?
It's mine, now you get it. Go back to your studio and build your, get back to your studio and build your PC. Now that Chandler's back at his place and he can't bother my stuff, let's go ahead and put the graphics card in, finish the PC, and then show it off because it's gonna look sick. But now though, I need to find an outlet because we need to see if this thing actually works and hope that nothing blows up or catches on fire because that would be really bad. Time for the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and plug this in. All right, see if I did this right. Oh, we have lights, that's a good sign. It's a good sign. All right, let's see. Okay, first bad sign, there's no RGB. So I already messed something up. When I went to boot it, it did not turn out the way I expected. These fans aren't working at all, so I really did mess up. I didn't put any panels on because I had a feeling that something like this could happen, which came in clutch because I was able to quickly analyze the problem, solve it, turn back the PC on, and everything was working the way it should. And with there being very little time left, I had to get everything right because I was not about to present an unfinished PC to these professional judges. That looks so good. I'll be completely honest, as much as I was crunching for time, I just realized I actually have way more time than I thought. So I'm able to kind of sit here and admire this while Chandler is still over there working. He does have the advantage of me when it comes to performance, but I think I'll be able to beat him when it comes to looks and actual build quality. Because let's be honest, he's definitely gonna turn the fans the wrong way or forget to put a cable or screw something in. So with that being said, put your votes down in the comments because I think this looks sick and I really think I'm gonna take it home. Since the PC is officially finished, at this point, I'm just waiting for the timer to run out. So let's go see how, Chandler, how we doing over here, buddy?
I'm behind, but I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Let's check out what he's got going on. Okay, he's got some red cables back here. I don't know if I should be interfering with my competitor right now.
I know you've been talking all this smack about me, but you're getting cooked.
I'm not getting cooked, bro. You're the one getting cooked, bro. The only thing you have on me, bro, is performance. You got a fat freaking 4090 down there, All right, well, I'm not gonna distract you because I want to beat you fair and square, so good luck. I hope you lose. You're gonna lose, buddy. So this is the PC case I decided to go with. A brief kind of backstory of why I decided to choose the parts. This is an AMD build with a Ryzen 7 7800X3D, an RTX 4070 Ti Super, and 32 gigabytes of RAM. I'm gonna win this.
So, this is the PC I decided to go with. I have no idea what any of these parts actually are. They just had bigger numbers than the other things, so I threw them in here. I went with a black and red aesthetic because that's my favorite colorway of all time. And yeah, I hope y'all give me a good score.
Let's take a look here. Overall, very clean system build. Maybe something in like the cable management here, just to kind of, you know, tidy up. But hardware-wise, everything that needs to be there is in place. There's obviously a very important aspect of PC building. Gotta see how well Jaden did on the cable management here. Checking it out, there's this magical thing called a zip tie. I don't think there's any. So for not having any zip ties whatsoever, it's pretty clean, you know, point A to point B. Most of the cables are tucked down here in the bottom. At least it's like, you know, some thought went into the direction of where everything was going. So overall, not bad, not bad. Couple of little things I'm noticing here. We missed a few screws. That's important. Gotta have all of those on the radiators. Otherwise, it's a clean build. From a builder perspective, passes.
All right, aesthetics on this build. Number one, I love an all white build. It's poppin'. It's what everybody wants nowadays. We have blue sleeve cables for the motherboard. The GPU, we're using black cables that look like default power supply cables. It would be cool if these matched. We went with blue on both. That's one thing that maybe we would want to change there. A band deep cool cooler. So this build is highly illegal. Just aesthetically though, man, this looks pretty good. The one thing that I would say, this is a big deal to me. We should always have the same cables for extensions, same color, just to keep it consistent. But overall, dude, crushed it on this build. Looks good, aesthetically pleasing, white on white. I like it, man. Crushed it.
All right, let's see what we got here. D30 fans. That's actually pretty thoughtful. There's a lot of builds that we see in this industry where everyone defaults to Lee and Lee, and it's nice to see something different than Lee and Lee or Lee and Lee Infinity fans. They're just everywhere. He picked the right fans for the intake, which is pretty cool to see. So this way, with these inverse fans, you don't see the frame of the fan right there, which just helps give a nice, really clean aesthetic. One thing I found interesting is he's chosen to set RGB on the graphics card. On the fans, set it to white, very interesting. But on the RAM chips, hasn't set them at all. That's a default profile. I don't know if that's intentional. I myself would have done something a little different. I would have definitely done a little bit differently with the cable management. I think Chris alluded to some zip ties maybe being needed there. Don't know if I would have made any specification changes, but I definitely would have set RGB.
Jaden, your system looks very, very nice. Everything from a builder's perspective checked out, so all the cables went where they needed to go. Just a few minor things like missing screws, no zip ties in the back. All just kind of add up to the system works, but the little details, you know, they add up. So for this guy, we're going with a 7.
I'll take a freaking 7.
That's not bad.
I'll take a 7.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
When it comes to all white builds, They're honestly one of my favorites. So this score is indicative of all of the components selected, how they all tie together, how they look. I'm gonna have to go with an 8.6 on the all white build. I was really impressed.
Good.
Jaden, creativity. Loved your build. I love the Snow White. The one thing that I would have done differently is RGB set to the RAM sticks. Everything seems, for the most part, pretty intentional, but the RGB sticks, everything else is there. That's the one thing I think that you missed. Other than that, excellent build. I give you 6.9.
Okay. Well, Chandler, with minimal PC building knowledge, fantastic looking system from a builder's perspective, maybe a few missed cable combs and whatnot. The main thing that I do have to ding you on is the reversed fans at the top. So out of 10, I had to give you a 6.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take it.
Aesthetics on the build. Dude, I feel like you did this for me because I love the Y70 Touch. It's my favorite case. You're already going to get a good rating from that. I'm going to go with an 8.9.
Sick.
Did a great job, dude. I think
Dude,
aesthetically,
that is
it's an
good.
awesome build. Great
Thank you.
job. Crushed it,
Thank
dude.
you.
Chandler, I want to like this build.
Oh no.
It's a great build, but what it's lacking, it's not fully set up, man. The touchscreen, you're missing apps. There's a loading screen on the front of the touchscreen. It doesn't really seem like there was anything intentional done with that other than just changing the background. So creativity-wise, I have to give you a 5.5.
All right, guys, the winner of the PC build-off is none other than Jaden with 22 points. Congrats, man. Awesome build. Good sh**.
Thank you.
Good sh**.
Appreciate that.
I saw the Y70 Touch. Did a great job, dude.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
GG's, bro.
Competition, good competition.
We ended up coming out with the win, which is so exciting. Considering I have built a lot of PCs, I learned so much throughout this entire process. This was such a fun project to do. Chandler and I have been planning this months in advance before we even got it approved. We were so stoked when they were on board with this whole idea and concept, as we really hadn't seen anybody do something like this before. With that being said, Chandler and I are average builders that did an average job. And if you really want the best of the best with top tier professionals that do an amazing job, and I've seen it firsthand, I'll link MetaPC's website down below in the description. Go show them some love, as they do a really good job when it comes to custom prints too. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and check out Chandler's point of view down below in the description. You can see how he built his PC in comparison to how I built my PC. Comment down below how you would have scored each of our PCs. Let us know ultimately which one you thought was better. With that being said, it's a sigh of relief this project's over, and I will catch you guys in the next video.